Start standing with your feet hip width apart and just start moving your toes around, really planting your big toe, pinky toes, and heels. And inhale, take a nice deep breath. Lift the arms to the ceiling. Exhale, press them down. Let's do that again. Inhale up, pushing your arms over to your right, grounding those feet, and up and over to your left. And then we're going to roll down, sequencing through the spine, and bend the knees, straighten the legs, shake your head yes, shake your head no, and rolling up one vertebra at a time, going on to Pilates V. Sweep that right arm up, stretch, push that hip out to really stretch the rib cage and the side of your torso. We're going to go a little bit wider into a second position and go into airplane. We're rotating and shifting our weight. We're playing with weight transfer here, as well as spinal rotation. And then take one more big side stretch. Exhale over to your right. And then you're going to walk your feet together again. And we're going to sit down on the mat. Sitting tall, really rock your hips back and forth to find the pointiest part of the sitting bones. Lift the arms up, and we're going to roll down. Slow as possible. You can bring those heels a little bit closer to your seat when you're down there. We're going to do 3 snow angels. You want to keep the neck long and just feel like you're floating those elbows towards your waist, trying to decompress your back. And then grab the back of the thighs, and we're going to come up again into that roll up. This time stretch the legs straight, or you can keep your knees bent if you need to. And we're going to slowly roll down, trying to articulate through that spine. Inhale, arms go overhead. Exhale, peeling your body up, fighting through those tough spots. And then from here, we're going to roll down and get into a little abdominal work. We're going to keep your head down on purpose, going into single leg stretch. Reach the left leg out, pull the right knee in. So we're keeping the arm choreography simple today, elbows wide, shoulders down. So we're going to do about 6 to 8 sets here, bringing the hands behind the head. Let your head be heavy. This is going to challenge you a little bit more than the arms low. And don't curl up, fight the urge. We're going to keep your head down for now. Hug the knees into your chest, bring the legs up. We're going to go on to single straight leg stretch. So you're taking 2 exhales, and keep the legs a little bit higher, maybe 60-degree angle. Don't go to 45 yet. We just want to keep those legs straight and feel that connection to the rib cage into the mat. Going on to single leg circles, bring the right leg up, circle the ankle, get all those kinks, pops, snaps out, and then really traction the hips away from you. Inhale, cross the leg over, exhale for the second half of the circle. Exhale. A little tip here, squeeze your opposite glute on the exhale. So inhale, exhale around. Exhale, so on this side, the left glute will squeeze on the exhale. So 4 circles in each direction. When you finish with that, hug the knee into your chest. Bring it out to the side and cross it over. You might get a few cracks in your back. Coming back, take a quick little hamstring stretch. And then let's bring the left leg up. So we're going to circle the ankle, reverse. By the way, I'm not using a pillow, but you're welcome to put a small pillow under your head here. So inhale, crossing over. Exhale. So as you do the single leg circles, you really want to stabilize the hips. And the base leg is reaching, it's flexed, and you're reaching through that heel. So there's always a 2-way stretch going on through the crown of the head, through the heels. Hug the knee into your chest, and then open out to the side and cross over. This should feel good. Look to the opposite direction. When you're done with that, take a hamstring stretch. And then from here, we're going to do a little flip over and go into some prone work on your belly. So grab your dumbbells, just keep them close enough so you can grab them when need be. We're going to start with a mini swan. Your hips are, or legs are about hip width apart, if not a little bit wider. And you're just pressing up a little bit. Think of this as like a half swan. Inhale, keeping the neck as long as possible in both the front and the back. The palms are underneath the shoulders, perhaps even closer to your ribs. Okay, now bring the palms underneath your forehead. We're going to lift the legs and the upper spine together. So the only thing that stays on the mat is the pelvis. This is harder than it looks. So we're going to do this about 6 times. Inhale. When you lift, make sure those legs are really straight. From here, we draw the legs in and out. So we are working here your abductors, your outer thighs, your glutes, and your low back muscles. From here, press back into a child's pose. Take a nice inhale through the nose. Exhale out. And then from here, we're going to grab your dumbbells. I'm only using 2 pounds. I would say 2 or 3 pounds is plenty of weight for what we're going to be doing. So I have my heels together, toes apart. You are welcome to separate the feet a little bit if that feels better on your back. And you're going to press your arms straight up 8 to 10 times here. Make sure the wrists are straight, and then we're going to do 4 little circles in one direction, 4 circles in the other. This is for the triceps, shoulders, and lats. And we go on to swimming prep. I apologize, my arms are a little bit cut off here. So we're going to take your right arm and your left leg up. Exhale down. And now the left arm. So as the left arm lifts, the right shoulder is pulling back. Now we lift everything together and down. Inhale up and exhale, we kick. So you are swimming 4 sets in this direction. You are kicking from your hips and your shoulders, trying to keep those elbows and knees as straight as possible. Personally, I love bringing the arms back. I find for most people this is easier to get a better extension and will help with that posture goal. Go ahead and sit back into a child's pose again. Okay, from here, we're going to go on to spine stretch forward. Sitting tall, you are going to round the spine as much as possible, reaching the arms out. So I always use the analogy of a coffee table here. My arms actually look a little bit higher than they should be. Go ahead and grab your dumbbells. We're going to make this a little bit harder. So now we reach forward like you're punching your arms forward. We lift up, take 2 baby pulses up without flaring the ribs, 2 little pulses down. Down, we lift up, trying to grow taller. Push the arms down. We reverse that semicircle and we go into it again. Stretch forward, curl up using the abdominals. Lift, lift. We press down twice and you circle up and down and reverse, really trying to get tall through the spine. From here, walk those arms out and rest. We're going on to the cat camel into airplane. So find your wrists underneath the shoulders, knees underneath the hips, and we're going to round into a cat. Inhale, open the spine, stretching the abdominals. Squeeze those shoulders back. We're going to take that left leg straight out. Exhale in. When you bring it in, try not to tuck the seat. Keep that neutral spine. Right arm, left leg reaches out. Exhale in. This is also called bird dog. Inhale out, hold, hold. Exhale in, and we shift. Start by just doing the right leg only. And in. So if you watch, I technically should have that hip a little bit lower. You want to try to keep those hips squared. Now bring the left arm with you. Reach and in. Inhale, reach. Exhale in. And go ahead and roll onto your left side. We're going to go on to some side lying work. So when you lie on your side, you want to stack the hips, draw the belly up and in, and draw the ribs together like a corset. We're going to reach that leg long, kick forward, exhale back. Inhale, exhale back. I do find this breath work really does help. So try to do that. 2 sniff breaths. Exhale out of the mouth. Inhale. Exhale, I believe we're doing 8 reps of this. And back, inhale. And going on to the clams. Inhale, peel up, exhale, down. So when you're doing this, think of your legs kind of moving through Laffy Taffy. So there's a little bit of a resistance here. 8 clams, keeping those hips stacked. Don't forget about lifting your waistline off the mat. We're going to go on to lying all the way down and take the legs into turnout. You're doing little pulses with those heels, squeezing the inner thighs together, and then we're going to go on to rond de jambe, which is not easy, by the way. If this is too tricky for you to keep your bottom leg straight, you can always bend the base leg. We're going to do 4 circles in each direction. I'm bringing the top arm behind my head for an extra challenge, and then reverse it. So you're turning out the hip, and then you go parallel. Inhale, exhale. I often use the image of a capital letter D for this exercise. From here, you're going to spin your legs around, and we'll go on to the other side. Starting with the side lying kicks, your shoulders, elbow, hips line up against the back edge of the mat. Your feet are a little bit in front, maybe 6 inches in front. Draw that belly in, ribs in. Inhale, kick forward, exhale, back. Inhale, forward, and back. And 3, exhale, back. 4, and back. And 5, and back. 6, exhale, stretch that leg as far as you can. And rest, we're going to go on to clams. And peeling up. So 6 side lying kicks, and I believe 8 reps of the clams. 3 and 4. Check in with your neck too and make sure you're not straining at all. And then once you've completed the clams, we're going to go all the way down, lying, resting your head and neck, and go into those turnout little pulses. These don't look like much, but you're really working those inner thighs and your turnout. And then we're going to brush that leg forward, up, and back. And 2, 3. So you're stirring that femur bone in the hip socket here. And as we reverse on the other side, I had my hand up by this time. Oh, there it goes. So you don't have to do that top arm behind the head. It's just an extra challenge. And then once you finish that, we are going to come up and go into a little mermaid. So your legs are stacked. You're going to grab your ankle and reach over. It is, I'm warning you, a little awkward to get into the first time, but it feels really good on the body. So give it a try. And reach, and the last one, release your head towards your shins. Switch the legs to the other side. Reach over, up and down. Always feel free to pause this if you need to kind of practice getting into that shape. And rest. And we're going to, we're winding this down, going into a few planks here. So shoulders over the wrists, energy through the heels, and squeezing those shoulders into the back. We're going to hold, inhale through the nose, exhale out of the mouth. And one more breath here. And we'll go down to your forearms. So the forearm plank is going to get a little bit more into your core specifically. Have that image of the belly hollowing in. Flipping over onto your left side, reach that right arm straight up. Try to get the head in line with the spine. Mine looks like it's a little bit lower than it should be. And flip over to the other side, opening up here. Exhale out. And then you're going to take a little child's pose. You can end here or do a few dancer kind of balletic stretches at the end with me. So you can face the camera, obviously. I'm facing away just so you can see this. So your legs are a little bit wider. If you're tight, bend the knees. We're going to sweep the arms over to the right and over to the left. Again, up and over to the right. This time, rotate your spine towards the thigh and then lift up. I love this rotation. It feels really good on the body. And up and over, rotating in and opening up, rotating in. Very nice. And from here, we're just going to End with a little breathing. So sit crisscross if that feels okay. Drop your head over one ear to the shoulder and to the other side. Trying to let the shoulders fall away from the ears, but still lifting tall.